In this video, we're going to be discussing what if Daenerys and Drogon met Hiccup and Toothless. This idea was suggested to us, so now we're answering since you asked. So if Daenerys Stormborn met Hiccup and Toothless, she would probably feel very surprised and ask whether or not Hiccup was a Targaryen, to which Hiccup would probably answer, "What is that?" Hiccup would explain his lineage, and Daenerys would explain hers. For a while, Hiccup would tell her his journey and how he discovered dragons, and Daenerys would explain her journey. They would be enamored with each other's tales. They would have something that bonds them, and of course, Astrid would be jealous. After all, Daenerys is very beautiful, and she's a queen. Now, we're going to assume that during this time, Daenerys was still on her mission to reclaim the Iron Throne. Hiccup probably wouldn't know what the hell that is, but he would understand why she felt the need to do that. Drogon, on the other hand, might be a little bit more protective of Dany around strange new dragons, especially breeds that are unlike his. But I see Toothless diffusing the situation. Drogon is intelligent enough to know when someone means him harm or not. And of course, Hiccup would want to name Drogon, as this is a dragon he's never seen before. Now, this is where things might get tense. Remember what Daenerys' job was. She wanted to go and reclaim the Iron Throne. She wanted to rule the Seven Kingdoms. Now, knowing that Hiccup and Toothless are the head of a giant dragon army, what do you think Daenerys would do next? Yeah. She would ask them to bend the knee. With how many times she asks people to bend the knee, you'd think she had a cock, right? I'm sorry, I don't think I'm supposed to say that. But seriously, you would think she had a schlong with how many times she asks people to bend the knee, especially when she doesn't even know them. Let's also pretend that she doesn't know about the Night King and the White Walkers at this point in time. Remember, when Jon met her, the only reason he did was because the Night King's army was coming and Daenerys had no idea what the hell that was. So she still had it in her tunnel vision mind to get at that Iron Throne, to take back what is rightfully hers. Of course, Hiccup wouldn't just say yes to this. I mean, he is the chief of Berk. He would have to talk it over with the people. He'd have to introduce her. They'd all have to sit down and have a board. Hiccup was more like Jon Snow back in the day before Jon became a complete wuss. He would want to know that he's doing right by his people, and they've never ruled under some strange queen before either. And then the other Vikings would probably say, why should they sit subject under Daenerys when they have a hell of a lot more dragons than she does? Even if she still had Rhaegal and Viserion, look how many dragons are on Berk. It's a dragon utopia. They would obliterate Daenerys' dragon. Let's also consider that with Toothless being the alpha, he can control the other dragons or manipulate them to a great degree. So it is possible, maybe even if Drogon doesn't fall under that manipulation, that Viserion and Rhaegal would. Come on, especially seeing that all the other dragons are following under Toothless. Let's say that Toothless tries to manipulate Drogon or assert his dominance over him. We've already discussed this in another video about who would win in a fight, but it wouldn't go well for Drogon. If you want to see why and how that fight would go down, check out our video called Toothless versus Drogon. It's a video that I really enjoyed making, and it really breaks down how and under what circumstances each of the dragons would win against one another. But overall, with Toothless's speed and his ability to shoot plasma from out of his mouth at the moment, and having a backup army of dragons that follow under his command, Drogon and Daenerys would stand no chance. Not all the Dothraki, not all the Unsullied, not even if Dany had 100 more dragons would she stand a chance against the entire army of dragons on Berk. Now, even though Hiccup is a dragon whisperer, you may say, well, dragons naturally like Dany. That may be true, but they still follow their alpha, who is a dragon. The next question that we have is, since Targaryens are bonded to dragons by blood, does that just mean dragons like Drogon or dragons universally? If Toothless ordered the army of dragons to attack Daenerys, would they listen, smelling that she's a Targaryen? I think the answer is no, they would not give a rat's ass, because remember, she's from the Game of Thrones universe, and Drogon, Rhaegal, and Viserion are specifically one type of dragon. Now, there may be other types of dragons that we don't know about, but they definitely don't fall under the category that the dragons of How to Train Your Dragon do. I think that whatever spell or magic was done to bond Targaryens to dragons long ago was done through lineage. So a specific dragon and its siblings or what have you, the spell was done to that dragon and then his descendants, and all the other dragons that came after that carried that bloodline were naturally bonded to Targaryens. So even if Toothless and all the other dragons existed in the Game of Thrones universe, but they were not direct descendants, or they were in any way, shape, or form related to the species of dragons that the spell was done on, that magic bond spell that bonds Targaryens to their dragons would not apply to Toothless and the dragons from the How to Train Your Dragons universe, even if they were in that same universe. Not to mention, Toothless and Hiccup also have in their arsenal dragons that way outclass Drogon when it comes to their weight and size. Hiccup would send Daenerys squealing with her tails in between her legs back from where she came. At that point, she would probably beg, humble herself, and beg for them to join her. Hiccup, being mature and logic-minded, would probably say that it's not his fight and he doesn't want to endanger his dragons nor his people. It's not like Daenerys is in trouble. She wanted to go back and take and conquer. At the moment she was on her mission to go get the Iron Throne, she wasn't being oppressed, she wasn't in any danger. She was the danger. Knowing Hiccup and his morals, he would not want to be a part of that. So Daenerys would eventually leave and Astrid would be so happy. I could imagine that behind Daenerys' back, Astrid would be telling Hiccup that she had a bad feeling about this woman and didn't like her, and after she left, she would be so happy that Hiccup made the right choice to send the bitch on her way. I mean, come on, that's what Astrid would be thinking. We know her personality. Have a thing for blondes, do you, Hiccup? I'll twist your neck if you cheat on me. I'm kidding. That's probably what Astrid would do. But let's be serious, come on. Anyways, that is the answer to the suggestion that was given to us as to what would happen if Daenerys and Drogon met Hiccup and Toothless. It would be nice if they were friends and she just came over and they talked, but do you see Daenerys doing that? She had a one-track mind, and that was to conquer. And yeah, unless somebody was following under her, she would not have anything to do with them. Or unless she's sleeping with them. Ew. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. Anyways, thank you so much. Whoa, mine just got weird. Thanks for watching. This has been Altiora. You ask, we answer.